Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of the Kansas Moonshot Podcast, where we will highlight all of the amazing things taking place in classrooms across the state of Kansas through this redesign process. We'll be highlighting Mercury schools, Gemini 1 schools, Gemini 2 schools, and schools just inspired by all of the redesign awesomeness who are trying out some really cool things. I'm Josh Stock. I am a 6th grade language arts teacher at Santa Fe Trail Middle School. We are one of the Mercury schools at the moment, and I'm just here to be your host, and I will be conducting some interviews with some people just to highlight all of the amazing things going on in the state of Kansas and just shining that spotlight, because we need someone to tell this story and highlight all of the amazing things we're doing in the classroom. We are a little over 1 year in our redesign process at my school. This is our first rollout of all of the things we plan to implement this year. And it was a hard process. It was a challenge. There were things we ran up against, obstacles we came across. There were times when we disagreed and we had some really tough conversations, but those conversations were amazing. We had conversations that we should have had a long time ago because we were talking about things that reflected on our practice that in my 10 years of teaching, I had never talked about those things before. Looking at every single piece of thing that we do at school and asking ourselves, why? What's the point? What are we hoping to get out of this school thing? What kind of students do we want when they leave our doors at Santa Fe Trail Middle School? So that is where we're at. That is what's going to be coming up. I look forward to some amazing podcasts coming up in the next few weeks just to talk about and highlight some of those things. So if you know anyone who is doing something really amazing in the classroom, or you are one of those Mercury, Gemini 1, Gemini 2 schools, and you want to give a huge shout out to some project that you're doing, let me know. You can contact me at teachlikeaninja@gmail.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at teachlikeaninja. You can also follow my class on Twitter at Mr. Stock Rocks, or you can check out my website, mrstockrocks.com, for all the latest and greatest going on in my classroom, and you can get all of the podcast notes there. So this is the very first episode of this podcast. The rest of them will be longer in the near future, but this is just my chance to get the voices of teachers in Kansas out there into the world. Thank you for joining me. As I always tell my students, until next time, book it forward and be awesome. All right, bye guys.